Hi, this is Olencelot, and I'm about to do another thought chain, which is a continuation of the last thought chain that I did about when I was in the 5th grade. So this is the 5th grade part 2. Now, if you're wondering what happened to part 1 and you haven't seen it yet, then go ahead and push this button if you're on YouTube, and it will take you to the first video. So you can see that thought chain and you know what's going on. Where that one ended off was dum dum dum. Everyone pointing their finger at me in the middle of class after I put a thumbtack on my teacher's chair, and everyone decided that I was guilty for sticking that tack in my teacher's bum and making it hurt. He sat on that tack twice that day before he realized what was going on. And my 5th grade teacher at this point in the front of the class was really mad because he sat on that tack and now he knew that it was me. So he told me that I had to go out into the hall and sit there by myself until he thought of what he could do with me for a punishment. But I remember thinking when he was talking to me that his head was shiny because it was bald. It reminded me of a balloon. And even though he was mad, it kind of made me laugh inside. I was too scared to laugh out loud at his face. Instead, I just went out into the hall like he told me. And out in the hall there was a bunch of coat racks, and my classroom was the last room at the end of the hallway, the far end of the school. So I sat there underneath the coats and the backpacks, and I had my school books sitting on the floor. And my teacher, he stood there for a second and he told me that I better read my books out in the hall while he decided what to do for my bad behavior. He said, "Stay here." So I sat there in the hallway all by myself. And then it occurred to me that sitting out in the hallway by myself really wasn't that bad of a punishment, because a little bit further down the hall, well, that's where I didn't want to go. That was the principal's office. And even worse than that, from what I heard, was if you got into trouble, there was these different colored chairs out in the hall while you waited to go to the principal, and they called them the hot seat. And when I was in the 5th grade, everybody thought that the hot seat was the red colored chair. And they call it the hot seat because if you got in trouble and you sat in that chair, you might catch on fire. Kids think some crazy things sometimes, and that's what I thought, so I was just glad I wasn't in the hot seat. Then it dawned on me that the light was shining through the windows, and so I went up to look outside because the doorways were right there that went outside from where I was sitting. And I thought, out of these doors, it's freedom. So I did what any kid in the 5th grade would do. I was already in trouble, so I thought, what the heck, I'll go out where the soccer fields are right outside the door and run around. Whee! I was running through the grass and having a great time all by myself, not doing my work. And I thought, I wonder what everyone else inside the classroom is doing, where all my friends are stuck in there in their desks. So I walked around the side of the building, and there on the side of the building, up this little grassy hill, was my classroom window. And inside that window was where my friends were sitting in their school desks and the chalkboard. And my teacher's desk was faced away from the window. And it dawned on me that he couldn't see me. If I crawled really careful, I could peek up through that window and I could see what all my friends were doing, and my teacher wouldn't even know that I had been there. So pretty soon I was standing up at the window and looking in at all my friends in the classroom. And I thought it was really funny because they all turned and saw me at the window and started laughing and smiling. And then my teacher started to turn around. And so before he could turn around, I stuck my bum right up to the glass and shook it really fast and did a little dance. And all my friends were laughing really hard. My teacher came up to the window, and before he could see me, I hurried and I jumped down flat right below the windowsill. And I laid there really scared, thinking that if he saw me, I was going to get in big trouble. But he looked around and I don't think he ever saw me. So when I worked up the courage, I got back up on my knees and looked in the window. And to my horror, my teacher was headed towards the door to come see if I was still there, where I was supposed to be in the hallway. Well, just like the last thought chain, this thought chain is to be continued. Dum dum dum. Again. Oh yeah. In one of my other videos, I decided I was going to give away a paintball gun. It's a Tippmann 98 Custom. It's a really awesome paintball gun. So if you'd like a chance to win this gun, click on the screen and pull the trigger. Thanks. Oh, Lancelot. Ta-da!